Welcome to Business Turnaround, where we dive into strategies that help companies rise from challenging times. I'm your host, Marek, and today we are focusing on one of the most critical aspects of turning a business around: restructuring debt. For blue-collar business owners and CEOs, this episode is especially relevant as managing debt effectively can be the key to your company's survival and future growth. When a business is in trouble, the weight of that can feel overwhelming. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the daily pressure of keeping the business afloat while knowing that payments are looming. Over the years, I've helped restructure nearly 10 million in debt, primarily with banks and suppliers. And let me tell you, it's not just about cutting deals, it's about strategically aligning your debt load with the cash flow your business generates. A goal I always keep in mind is to bring the debt level down to a point where servicing it takes up no more than a third of the company's cash flow. This way, the business retains enough liquidity to reinvest in itself, drive growth, and avoid slipping back into trouble. One key insight I've gained from my experience is that banks and creditors often respond more positively to a turnaround CEO or investor rather than the existing management team. There is a reason for this. When a company is struggling, the management that led it into trouble may not have the credibility or the fresh perspective needed to reassure creditors. As a turnaround leader, you are seen as someone who is not only committed to resolving the issues, but also equipped with the expertise to do so. Banks know that their chances of recovering the loans improve when they are dealing with someone who has a track record of successfully turning companies around. Now, one of the most powerful tools in debt restructuring, especially with suppliers, is the debt-to-equity swap. This strategy involves converting some or all of the outstanding debt into equity, essentially turning creditors into stakeholders. This isn't just a financial maneuver, it's a partnership move. You are not just asking your creditors for leniency, you are inviting them to be part of the company's future success. Of course, this approach needs to be carefully considered. It works best when both parties see potential for recovery and growth. But when it's done right, it can significantly reduce the debt burden on the company and align the interest of creditors and businesses. However, debt restructuring is not just about the financial aspects, it's also deeply personal and relational. Successfully navigating this process requires the cooperation of all stakeholders: banks, suppliers, employees, and sometimes even customers. Communication is key. When you sit down with your creditors or suppliers, it's not just about presenting the numbers, it's about telling the story of your business, the challenges you are facing, the steps you are taking to turn things around, and how everyone involved can benefit from the company's recovery. People are much more willing to come on board when they understand the vision and see a clear plan for success. In a turnaround, increasing revenue can sometimes be a double-edged sword. If you are not careful, it can exacerbate existing problems. Rapid growth without the infrastructure to support it can strain your resources, lead to cash flow problems, and even overwhelm your operations. That's why restructuring debt is about more than just reducing what you owe. It's about creating a financial structure that supports sustainable growth. You have to ensure that as your company scales, it does so in a way that is manageable and beneficial for long-term health of the business. In wrapping up today's discussion, remember that restructuring debt is not just a tactical move, it's a strategic one. By aligning your debt obligations with your company's ability to generate cash flow, you set the stage for a successful recovery. Whether through negotiating better terms with banks, implementing a debt-to-equity swap with suppliers, or simply communicating effectively with all stakeholders, the goal is to give your business the breathing room it needs to thrive again. Thank you for joining me on Business Turnaround podcast. I hope you found today's episode insightful and that it provides you with the strategies you need to navigate your business through these challenging times. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to reach out and don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for my next episode where I will continue exploring strategies for business success. Bye for now.